Every single morning, before the world places its demands on you, there is a sacred moment, a moment where life feels still, quiet, and undisturbed. That moment is your gift, and what you do with it will determine how your day unfolds. Too often we wake up rushing, checking our phones, reacting to notifications, already caught up in someone else's agenda before we've even had a chance to breathe. But imagine waking up differently. Imagine opening your eyes and saying to yourself, this day is mine. This day will not just happen to me. I am choosing how to live it. Starting your day with purpose is more than just having a to-do list or making sure your coffee is strong. It's about waking up with a sense of ownership over your life. You pause, take a deep breath, and center yourself in what matters most. You choose how you want to show up in the world, not as a person reacting to chaos, but as a person moving with intention. That single act changes everything because it sends a message to your heart and mind that you are in control, even when life isn't perfect. Take one moment each morning to set your intention and watch how the rest of your day begins to align. Maybe your intention is patience. Maybe it's courage. Confidence is riding on. Maybe it's joy. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be honest. And when life tries to pull you in 1,000 directions, when people frustrate you or situations disappoint you, you can return to that intention and remind yourself, I chose who I am today. I chose how I will show up. That's power. And that's how unstoppable people move through life. Not by avoiding challenges, but by staying grounded when challenges come. Equally important is how you end your day. Too many of us collapse into bed feeling overwhelmed, unfinished, or even defeated by what didn't go right. But what if you ended each day differently? What if, before closing your eyes, you gave yourself the gift of reflection? It doesn't have to take more than a few minutes. You ask yourself, what did I do well today? What am I proud of? What did I learn? And yes, even where did I fall short? And what can I do better tomorrow? Reflection is not about beating yourself up. It's about loving yourself enough to pause and grow. Because when you reflect, you give yourself permission to celebrate progress instead of perfection. You begin to see that even on days that feel small or ordinary, there is always something to appreciate. A moment of kindness, a lesson learned, a step forward. And when you do this, you go to bed with peace instead of pressure, with clarity instead of chaos. That peace is what allows you to wake up the next day lighter, stronger, and ready to keep going. The combination of starting and ending your day with purpose creates a rhythm, a flow that makes you unstoppable. You're no longer living reactively, bouncing from one demand to the next, but intentionally building your life one day at a time. Think about a single purposeful day becomes a purposeful week. A purposeful week becomes a purposeful month. And soon, without even realizing it, you've built a purposeful life. People often wonder what separates those who thrive from those who feel stuck. And it's not luck. It's habit. It's the choice to begin each day by declaring, this is who I am. This is what I will focus on. And to end each day by honoring yourself with compassion and gratitude. Because life is not about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up for yourself consistently. This is how unstoppable people are made, not by waking up to miracles, but by waking up with purpose. Not by ending each day with regret, but by ending it with reflection and love for themselves. This is how you rise every morning ready to step into your power, and how you rest each night knowing you gave life your all. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through this life, and your mind is the compass that directs where you're going. Together, they create the foundation for everything you want to do, everything you want to be, and everything you want to experience. And yet, so many of us treat them like afterthoughts. We push through exhaustion, ignore the signals of stress, skip meals, and feed our minds with negativity, expecting somehow to perform at our best. But you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot show up fully in your life if the body and mind you depend on are running on fumes. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's an act of power. It is saying, matter. My well-being is my priority. When you choose to honor your health, to move your body every day, to nourish it with food that gives you life instead of drains you, you are telling yourself that your dreams are worth it, that your purpose is worth it, and most importantly, that you are worth it. Even on the busiest of days, carve out moments to move. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be 10 minutes of stretching before the sun rises, a walk during your lunch break, or a dance in your living room when nobody's watching. Movement releases energy that's been trapped inside you, stress, anxiety, frustration, and transforms it into fuel. It lifts your mood, sharpens your focus, and gives you the physical stamina to face what lies ahead. When your body feels strong, your mind feels clearer, and life feels just a little easier to manage. And don't just move your body, feed it with care. The food you choose each day is not just about calories, it's about energy, longevity, and quality of life. Food can be healing, nurturing, and restorative, or it can leave you feeling heavy, sluggish, and unmotivated. Make choices that honor your body rather than punish it. Not because you have to fit into someone else's idea of beauty, but because you deserve to feel vibrant, awake, and alive in your own skin. But let's not stop there, because taking care of yourself isn't only physical, it's mental and emotional too. How often are you feeding your mind with things that grow you? Are you filling it with hope, new knowledge, new perspectives? Or are you allowing the noise of negativity and fear to take root? Every day, make space to learn something new, even something small. Read a few pages of a book, listen to a podcast that inspires you, engage in conversations that challenge your thinking and expand your worldview. This is how you train your mind to stay curious, sharp, and resilient. And perhaps the most transformative daily practice is gratitude. Gratitude changes how you see the world. When you wake up and say, "Thank you for this breath, this day, this opportunity to try again," you're no longer focused on what's missing. You're focused on what's possible. That shift in perspective doesn't just feel good. It actually strengthens your mental well-being. Gratitude has a way of quieting anxiety and softening stress because it roots you in abundance instead of lack. This is how unstoppable people approach their lives. They treat their bodies as temples and their minds as sanctuaries. They see wellness not as a chore, but as a privilege. They understand that when you take care of yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, you're not just improving your day, you're improving your life. You're investing in the version of you that will show up for the people you love, the dreams you're chasing, and the challenges you must face. And yes, there will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be mornings when getting out of bed feels heavy, when moving your body feels impossible, confidence is riding on, and when filling your mind with positivity feels like work. But that's when you lean into discipline instead of motivation, because discipline is what keeps you going long after motivation fades. You remind yourself that every small choice adds up. The short walk, the healthy meal, the gratitude list, the 10 minutes of reading, they all stack together to build a stronger, healthier, unstoppable version of you. Taking care of yourself daily is not vanity, it's necessity. It's the difference between surviving and thriving, between dragging yourself through life and running towards it with energy and confidence. And when you begin to prioritize your health and your mindset, you'll notice something incredible. Life feels lighter. Your goals feel closer. And your belief in yourself grows stronger, is riding on. Because when your body is fueled and your mind is nourished, there's no limit to what you can do. Riding on, who you surround yourself with will either elevate you or drain you. It's that simple. The energy, the conversations, the mindset of the people closest to you seeps into your own life more than you realize. You can have the greatest vision, the strongest work ethic, and the purest intentions, but if your environment is filled with negativity and doubt, it will slowly chip away at your spirit. That's why choosing who you allow into your space is one of the most powerful decisions you can ever make. We often hold on to relationships out of habit, fear, riding on, or obligation, even when deep down we know they no longer serve us. We tell ourselves it's easier to keep the peace, to stay quiet, to accept the draining presence of someone because letting go feels uncomfortable. But ask yourself this, what is the cost of holding on? Confidence is riding on. How many dreams are delayed because you've been too busy carrying the weight of someone else's negativity? How many times have you doubted yourself simply because someone around you couldn't see your potential? The truth is, you become like the people you spend the most time with, their habits, their language, their energy. It all rubs off. Spend enough time with people who complain, who blame others, who always focus on why something won't work. And soon you'll start to feel the heaviness of that energy in your own life. But spend time with people who uplift you, who believe in even when you doubt yourself, and you will feel your spirit rise. You'll feel braver, lighter, more capable, because their energy fuels your own. This doesn't mean you cut people off harshly or with judgment, but it does mean you have to set boundaries. Boundaries are an act of self-love. They say, I value my peace. I value my vision. I value the energy I allow into my life. You can love people and still love them from a distance if their presence diminishes your joy. You can care about people and still protect your heart from constant negativity. And then, as you protect your energy, seek out those who light you up. Look for people who challenge you to grow, who inspire you to think bigger, who clap for you when you win and support you when you stumble. These are your energy builders. The people who don't just celebrate your dreams, but also push you toward them. They see the greatness inside you even on the days you feel small. They remind you of your strength when you forget, and they refuse to let you settle for less than you deserve. Your environment is more than just the people you see daily. It's the conversations you entertain, the content you consume, and the places you spend your time. Are you surrounding yourself with positivity and growth, or are you constantly feeding your mind negativity and chaos? Every choice matters. What you allow into your life influences how you see yourself, how you think about your future, and how you respond to life's challenges. When you choose your circle with intention, something shifts. You feel supported, encouraged, and safe to be your authentic self. You feel challenged in the best way, pushed to keep growing, to keep moving forward, is riding on, and to keep believing even when it's hard. You start realizing that you don't have to do life alone. And you were never meant to. And let's be honest. Sometimes we outgrow people, and that's okay. Growth will naturally create distance from relationships that no longer align with where you're headed. That doesn't make anyone bad or wrong. It just means your paths are diverging. Allow that to happen without guilt, because holding on to relationships that keep you small will only delay your progress. Letting go makes room for new, uplifting connections that match the person you are becoming. Protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's essential. When your space is filled with people who believe in possibility, who radiate positivity, and who share your desire to grow, you move differently. You dream bigger, act bolder, and live freer because you know you are supported. And that kind of support is priceless. Choose wisely who you give your time and energy to, because those choices will shape your life more than almost anything else. Your relationships are either planting seeds of courage or seeds of doubt. Make sure you're watering the right ones, because when your circle is right, your energy is right. And when your energy is right, there is nothing that can stop you